With a family fortune that rivals the GDP of entire nations, Barron Trump's life unfolds like a modern-day fairy tale, only far more extravagant. As the youngest heir to the Trump empire, his days are filled with private jets, palatial mansions, and front-row seats at the world's most exclusive events. But behind the polished photos and occasional headlines lies a world few truly understand, one of breathtaking privilege, silent power, and unimaginable luxury. Step inside the rarely seen world of America's former first son, where even the most lavish fantasies are simply part of the everyday and the extraordinary is just the beginning. Luxurious lifestyle of Barron Trump. Born on March 20, 2006, in New York City, Barron William Trump entered the world already wrapped in a gilded legacy. As the only child of Donald and Melania Trump and the youngest of Donald's 5 children, with half-siblings ranging in age from 13 to 28, Barron was raised like a modern-day prince, living a life apart from his older siblings. Donald Trump, a real estate tycoon with a net worth of $7.5 billion, brought global fame to the family through his iconic business empire and reality TV show The Apprentice. Melania, a former fashion model from Slovenia who would go on to become First Lady of the United States, added a touch of European elegance to the Trump household. Together, they created a world for Barron defined not just by comfort but by limitless luxury. Barron's childhood played out high above Manhattan in the famed Trump Tower, a glittering skyscraper on Fifth Avenue that served as both home and personal playground. While most children shared bedrooms or carved out space for toys in modest living rooms, Barron had an entire floor to himself. Imagine a child's dream world elevated 58 stories in the sky, with staff attending to every need and the city skyline serving as the backdrop to daily life. This vast and private space allowed Barron to explore his interests from sports to tech without boundaries. When not in New York, Barron spent time at the Trump's Mar-a-Lago estate in Palm Beach, Florida, known as the Winter White House. The sprawling 126-room mansion includes private beaches, tennis courts, pools, and a championship golf course. There, father and son bonded over rounds of golf and long family dinners beneath crystal chandeliers, enjoying the kinds of moments that most children only read about in storybooks. Barron's introduction to public life began astonishingly early. Just 2 months after his birth, he made his television debut on The Oprah Winfrey Show in May 2006, nestled in the arms of his beaming parents. During the segment, Oprah's close friend Gayle King conducted a heartfelt interview with Donald and Melania, who proudly presented their newborn to the world. Melania shared intimate details of Donald's surprisingly hands-on parenting style, how he spent mornings watching TV with Barron and reading newspapers by his side. Despite being a bit fussy during his on-camera appearance, Barron captured the nation's attention, his every expression a reminder that he was not just a baby but a baby born into spectacle. Even his name, Barron, carried weight, chosen by Donald as a name he had long admired but never used until now. That televised moment was just a glimpse into the opulent, public life that lay ahead for the youngest Trump, whose journey was destined to unfold beneath the world spotlight. 2024, Barron Trump's estimated net worth sits at a jaw-dropping $1 million, a fortune most people couldn't amass in several lifetimes, let alone before their 18th birthday. The remarkable part, he hasn't had to work a single day for it. Barron's wealth flows from a combination of inherited affluence, shrewd family investments, and a trust fund that reads more like a billionaire's portfolio than a teenager's savings. Among the crown jewels of his trust are a 1,000-square-foot mansion in Palm Beach, Florida, located on the prestigious grounds of his father's Mar-a-Lago resort and rumored to be worth anywhere from $10 million to a staggering $50 million, and a 30-acre estate in Bedminster, New Jersey, complete with a 7,000-square-foot home, private golf course, and swimming pool, valued at around $1 million. But the opulence doesn't stop at real estate. Barron also holds stakes in some of the world's most powerful companies, including Amazon, Alphabet, Apple, Microsoft, Meta Platforms, Tesla, Berkshire Hathaway, JP Morgan Chase, Home Depot, Visa, and United Health Group. With 25% of his trust fund tied to these high-performing stocks, his wealth is not just substantial, it's on track to explode in value, ensuring that the young Trump heir will remain a fixture among America's elite for decades to come. When it comes to Barron Trump's luxurious lifestyle, even his earliest moments are the stuff of modern legend. As the youngest child of Donald and Melania Trump, his life was carefully curated to reflect not just wealth, but extravagance on a royal scale. One of the most jaw-dropping gifts he received as a newborn came from none other than Ellen DeGeneres, a golden baby carriage. Yes, a pram made of actual gold. It was more than a gift, it was a glittering symbol of the rarefied world Barron was born into. From that moment on, luxury wasn't a treat, it was his norm. The golden stroller was just the first of many signs that this child would grow up surrounded by a level of opulence reserved for the global elite. Barron's home life mirrored the same sense of grandeur. He spent his formative years in the Trump Tower penthouse, a triplex apartment that is arguably one of the most iconic and extravagant residences in New York City. Situated on Fifth Avenue, this mansion in the sky boasts panoramic views of Central Park and the glittering Manhattan skyline. Adorned with gold accents, marble floors, and crystal chandeliers, the penthouse served as a palace-like sanctuary. But perhaps the most astonishing detail is that Barron had an entire floor to himself. While most children consider a private bedroom a luxury, Barron's dedicated level included a nursery, a living room, a kitchen, and separate quarters for his mother and nannies. Designed in the lavish Louis XIV style, his nursery featured ornate gold moldings and plush furnishings more Versailles than nursery rhyme. Melania Trump, known for her elegance and attention to detail, played a central role in shaping this environment. She was a hands-on mother who made sure her son enjoyed nothing but the best, including when it came to skincare. In 2013, she launched her own luxury skincare line featuring a product called Caviar Complex C6, a moisturizer infused with real caviar extract. And who was one of its earliest users? None other than Barron himself. Melania proudly shared that she applied the caviar cream on him every night from head to toe. Imagine a 7-year-old child whose bedtime routine included luxury skincare treatments more expensive than most adult spa visits. It was this type of attention and indulgence that defined Barron's early life, and upbringing tailored with precision, care, and no expense spared. But Melania's devotion extended far beyond aesthetics. She also took charge of Barron's early education, opting to homeschool him herself during his formative years. Committed to being a full-time mom, she guided him from ABCs to algebra with the same precision she applied to his wardrobe and skincare. Language was a key part of his curriculum. Thanks to his Slovenian heritage, Barron grew up fluent in his mother's native language and often enjoyed traditional dishes made by his maternal grandmother, Amalia Novs. He also learned French at a young age, showcasing a remarkable linguistic aptitude uncommon for children of his age. With private tutors, personalized lesson plans, and a mother deeply invested in every detail, Barron Trump's education was just as exclusive as his lifestyle, making him not only one of the wealthiest young figures in America, but perhaps also one of the most uniquely groomed for a life in the spotlight. In 2016, the Trump family was thrust into the global spotlight like never before, but young Barron Trump remained somewhat shielded from the frenzy, at least initially. While his father assumed office in January 2017, Barron didn't immediately move to Washington, D.C. Instead, he continued living at Trump Tower with his mother, Melania, so he could finish the school year uninterrupted. It wasn't until June 11, 2017, that Barron, then 11 years old, officially moved into the White House. This marked a historic moment in presidential history. Barron became the first son of a sitting U.S. president to live in the White House since John F. Kennedy Jr. in 1963. Transitioning from a private penthouse in Manhattan to one of the most iconic residences in the world might seem overwhelming for a child, but Barron handled the change like a seasoned pro. He adjusted to his new surroundings with quiet confidence, treating the executive mansion less like a political arena and more like the ultimate dream home for a young boy growing up under the national gaze. Among the most talked about features of Barron's life in the White House was his incredibly personalized bedroom, a private sanctuary tailored to both his personality and his passions. Far from the stuffy decor of traditional presidential suites, Barron's room was designed with a sleek, modern flair. Outfitted with contemporary furniture, ambient lighting, and cutting-edge technology, the space also included a state-of-the-art gaming setup that would make any teenager jealous. Beyond his bedroom, Barron had access to a dazzling array of exclusive amenities. He frequently enjoyed the private White House movie theater, equipped with plush seating and a professional sound system perfect for screening the latest blockbusters in peace. Another favorite was the White House pool, where he swam, lounged, and spent quality time with family and friends. And then there was the rarely seen but always coveted White House bowling alley tucked away in the basement. It became Barron's go-to spot for friendly competitions and memory-making moments. For most children, these would be once-in-a-lifetime experiences. For Barron Trump, they were just another part of daily life inside America's most famous address. Throughout Barron Trump's time in the White House, his parents, especially Melania Trump, were fiercely committed to preserving a sense of normalcy in his life. Melania was notably protective, often emphasizing the importance of shielding her son from the harsh glare of public scrutiny. She took an active role in shaping his daily routine, ensuring it included a healthy balance of schoolwork, playtime, and quality family moments. One of the most remarkable aspects of Barron's White House years was the extraordinary level of security that enveloped him. As the son of the sitting president, Barron was constantly surrounded by Secret Service agents, a necessity that underscored his rare position but also gave him the freedom to live without fear. Interestingly, even after Donald Trump left office in 2021, Barron, then nearly 15, continued to benefit from this elite protection. Under federal law, he remained entitled to Secret Service coverage until the age of 16, a privilege that very few teenagers in the world will ever know. Moving beyond the palatial estates and elite private schools, Barron Trump has also carved out a reputation as a rising fashion icon. From the moment he stepped onto the public stage, Barron's style caught the attention of fashion watchers around the world, and with a mother like Melania Trump, a former supermodel known for her impeccable taste, it's no surprise. Melania has long been credited with curating Barron's wardrobe with an eye as sharp as a runway critic's. One of Barron's earliest standout fashion moments came during his father's presidential inauguration in January 2017. At just 10 years old, he turned heads in a classic navy blue suit, crisp white shirt, and silk tie, with his neatly styled hair completing the polished look. It was a debut that signaled his early preference for refined, formal attire and set the stage for his future as a sartorial standout. Throughout Donald Trump's presidency, Barron consistently impressed with his sharp sense of style at official functions and state events. Whether attending formal dinners or traveling with his parents, Barron favored tailored suits, structured jackets, and timeless staples that reflected his family's luxury-oriented lifestyle. One especially notable look was the $10,000 black suit he wore to a White House state dinner honoring French President Emmanuel Macron in 2018. Often seen in high-end designers such as Ralph Lauren and Brooks Brothers, Barron blended classic American style with youthful elegance. But it's not all tuxedos and silk ties. His casual wear also stands out. During a 2019 family return from Mar-a-Lago, Barron stepped off Air Force One in khaki pants, a white polo, a bold red jacket, and beige New Balance sneakers, a look that made headlines for its boldness and individuality. Barron's evolving style is also closely tied to the rarefied world he was born into. From an early age, he was surrounded by high fashion and designer labels, thanks to Melania's influence and the Trump family's taste for luxury. At 14, he made waves again with a striking 1950s-inspired outfit, a red, white, and blue-trimmed bomber jacket by the elite brand Moncler, black jeans, and sleek leather shoes, looking more like a fashion model than a political figure's son. And let's not forget the accessories. Barron has a clear appreciation for fine timepieces. He's been spotted wearing a Rolex Submariner, valued at over $10,000, as well as an Audemars Piguet Royal Oak, which can fetch more than $20,000. Perhaps most impressively, he's also sported the ultra-luxurious Patek Philippe Nautilus, a legendary watch that starts at $30,000 and can go much higher depending on the model. With his height, charisma, good looks, and natural flair for fashion, speculation about Barron's future in the fashion industry seems more than reasonable. Whether or not he decides to follow in his mother's stylish footsteps, his presence continues to command attention. Barron remains a somewhat elusive yet fascinating figure, making only select public appearances, but when he does, his impeccable wardrobe never fails to impress. For now, he's a low-key teen who enjoys the finer things in life, but should he choose to step into the spotlight more fully, the fashion world may well be ready to embrace its next breakout star. One of Barron Trump's most notable recent public appearances took place during Easter 2024 at the Mar-a-Lago Club, the exclusive resort owned by his father, Donald Trump. This annual celebration was not only a grand affair dripping in opulence, but it also gave the public a rare glimpse into Barron's ever-evolving role within elite social circles. Standing tall, now towering at over 6 feet 7 inches, Barron drew considerable attention from both guests and the media. Dressed in an impeccably tailored black suit paired with a striking yellow tie, he cut a commanding and elegant figure that mirrored his father's style and presence. The event, attended by high-profile figures and Trump family members, served as yet another reminder of the lavish lifestyle Barron enjoys, a seamless blend of wealth, tradition, and exclusivity. Mar-a-Lago, with its sprawling gardens, ornate architecture, and members-only status, was the perfect backdrop for the young Trump heir's latest public outing. Media outlets extensively covered the event, capturing photos and videos of Barron engaging with guests, seated beside his mother Melania, and standing close to his father during conversations. These carefully watched moments underscored Barron's place within the Trump dynasty, not just as a child of privilege but as a public figure in his own right. While his polished image at high society events draws attention, Barron also displays a down-to-earth side that makes him relatable to his generation. One clear example of this is his passion for soccer. A known Arsenal fan, Barron has played for DC United's U12 team and the Arlington Soccer Association, demonstrating real skill on the field. His father, proud of his son's athletic interests, once boasted about Barron to FIFA's president and even secured keepsakes directly from Vladimir Putin, as well as personal interactions with stars like Wayne Rooney. As Barron grew older, his quiet transition into adulthood became a subject of national interest. Turning 18 in March 2024 marked a turning point not just in his personal life, but in how the media viewed and treated him. The once protected youngest Trump was now considered fair game for public criticism, as one former NBC executive bluntly put it. Around the same time, Barron made headlines by being selected as a Florida delegate to the Republican National Convention, an unexpected move that placed him in the heart of the political arena his father once dominated. Though Donald Trump hinted that Barron had a genuine interest in politics and even advised him occasionally, Barron made the surprising decision to withdraw from the delegate role, citing prior commitments. The announcement came just as he prepared to graduate from the prestigious Oxbridge Academy in West Palm Beach, Florida, a symbolic end to his youth and the start of a new chapter. Now stepping into adulthood, Barron Trump faces a world of opportunity, scrutiny, and expectation. With a life built on unimaginable privilege, designer wardrobes, multimillion-dollar estates, and an upbringing inside presidential palaces, he remains a subject of fascination and curiosity. Yet as public attention intensifies, so do the pressures that come with his last name. Whether Barron will choose to pursue politics, fashion, sports, or something entirely unexpected remains to be seen. But one thing is clear, the world will be watching. And while the path ahead is uncertain, Barron Trump is no longer just the quiet boy in the background. He's a figure stepping boldly into his own spotlight, poised to shape his future on his own terms. What do you think about Barron Trump's luxurious lifestyle? Share your thoughts in the comments, and click one of the cards on your screen for more fascinating videos like this one.